Great.
And I'm one of those people coming up.
Okay.
You want me to get my chair?
Yes, no, but your chair.
It's a little scarier. I think that would be a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, we it's definitely be super comfortable, that one. Yeah, that'll be beautiful. If anybody has comfort issues, you're welcome to use that. Good.
This looks like a picture.
You know, we're all kind of a mess. And it's okay. It's all right. If you do have a breathing ball, I think I have 3 of them here. I thought I'd share with you what I do with my kiddos when we do yoga. So we start, this is just like an assist in paying attention to your breath. So when we breathe in and expand, we obviously inhale. And when we exhale, we close it down. And what we try to do is learn to kind of regulate the breath a little bit, or even just pay attention to it. So what you might want to do is have 3 people together. I'm going to have each 3 of you take one little corner, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And this is an exercise in trying to get your breath to sync with each other. So you don't know who's leading, right? You're all leading and you're all following. So see if you can kind of get that to work together by inhaling and exhaling, and just see what happens. If anything happens for you. This is an exercise in cooperation. Remembering that everybody's lungs are different sizes and capacities. So we have to work to establish that comfortable level in between. Yes, you are doing a great job. Nice. And when you don't have the ball, you can do this with your hands just by bringing them together, inhaling wide and exhaling, closing. And you can even do just widening with the hands, like making a glow kind of, and exhaling, closing up. And it's just a great moment to take notice of your breath, which, you know, we do all day long, all night long, without necessarily noticing. And maybe noticing the texture, the depth, the length of the inhale and exhale. There's no wrong to this. You're simply giving it some of your attention for a moment. Brief moment in time. Good. And then once you have your last inhale, exhale, you can place it down onto the ground. And we'll begin with, I'll give you a little introduction to who the monks are. They're working on the sun mandala. I hope that we'll stop in time so that everybody can see it. They might not be in progress. They might be having lunch. They might have lunch during that time. But you'll get to see how grain by grain this thing has progressed. And also, we will have a chance, you'll notice their tools are these metal cones. There's a cone that allows the sand to come out in teeny tiny bits or slightly larger bits. They're all teeny tiny, but different sizes of the tube. And they vibrate it with another metal piece, so it makes a really pleasant sound. If you want to try those tools out, it's the first time we've ever been able to do this. We're going to try those tools out. We're going to do it at 3 o'clock this afternoon. So we'll have, if you're brave and daring, you can do your own by copying something or by making it up. And if you want to follow a pattern, there are patterns available. The patterns are the 8 auspicious symbols of Buddhism, and they each have a meaning. We colored them the other day, right? So this is sort of the same thing, but trying to follow it with sand. So they all have different meanings. There's for protection, for wisdom, for guidance, for whatever. So they're very pretty colorful things. They're also in the mandala. So you'll get to see the mandala, not, you know, potato. Welcome to Chair Yoga. I'm so happy to be here today. My name is Lenora, And this just came to us on a whim, sort of like, let's do a yoga class here. And before we get started, everybody just make sure you have enough room for a little bit of this. You may have to back up a little. Jen has no backup capability whatsoever. And I don't know a couple of people here. Well, let's all tell our names because you don't know everybody either. So my name is Lenora and
Elena.
Elena, Lisa,
Maggie.
Steve,
Jen.
Margot.
We're just getting started,
Yeah.
so it's perfect. I thought it was gonna be in there, so.
No.
I was here early.
Oh, that's okay. We got plenty of room for you.
Okay.
And
I love that.
River,
They have plenty of room for me.
right? River, we just
River.
introduced ourselves, so
Okay.
let me move this table just a tiny bit without messing. Woo! Oh, that was an awful noise. Sorry about that.
I do my chair.
And let's see how this works. That should be fine. This should be fine. Okay. Well, welcome, River, and everyone else. So today, our theme, because we're looking at and watching the mandala, we are going to do circles. Everything, well, maybe everything, I don't know. I haven't thought it out that far yet, but a lot of what we're going to do is circles, and circles are very important. They're, you know, the beginning, no beginning, no end. It's a kind of a sacred symbol and all that. So already we're in a circle, so yay for us. But circles are really comforting for most people. If you notice, sometimes, well, when the monks chant, for example, they don't quite make a circle, but they make a rocking motion. And today we're going to try it with circles. Yeah. So let me get started here. While I do this, take a deep breath in. It's more for me than for you. Okay, and then let it go and relax and bring your feet firmly onto the floor. You can be barefoot, feet in shoes, whatever you are, is perfectly fine. But begin to find the connection between your body and the earth below. We're going to call it the earth, even though we know it's on foundation and all that.
There's somebody.
Yeah, it's always underneath there somewhere. So that's where we're going to plant our feet and start to ground our bodies. Sorry, I have a playlist I just made and now I'm looking for it. The playlist is called Circles. Where is it? Here it is. I haven't even listened 100% to all of it. But we're going to see what happens there. Come on. Remember Harry Chapin? Well, he's back with us. Come forward onto your seat. Soles of the feet planted down into the ground. Hands wherever they feel most comfortable. Nice tall body. We're going to pretend we're drawing a circle on the ceiling with a crayon on top of our head. To notice maybe any little sensations in your body, in your back, your sit bones, on the chair, as your weight moves side to side, forward and back. And then we'll go the other way. Even it out. Now we go the other way. Oh, yes. Bless you. Excuse me. Okay, and one more circle for good luck, and then when we come back to center, we're going to just sit nice and tall and let our head drop. Now, I'm not a fan of full head circles, but if you are, you're certainly welcome to do that. What I like is half a circle. It's better on my neck for me. And so we'll bring one ear over the shoulder and then back over the other, shoulder. So it's a nice gentle loop, half circle. As you go from left to right, notice how are your shoulders, or what are your shoulders doing? Are they pulling up with you, or are they maybe relaxing and softening? Try and see if you can keep them out of the loop here. Make it just about your neck and keep your shoulders relaxed. We keep a lot of tension in our shoulders and neck. So this is a little bit of a challenge sometimes to keep the rest of the body involved. And then when we come up to center, we're just gently going to look left and right. So open your eyes for this. This is something new that it's called orienting. And it's about when we come into a room, for example, we are usually very focused forward. That's the way our life is. Our computers, our phone, our people, our teacher, whatever it might be. And so it's not a natural way to be, though. If you look in the wild, the animals don't look straight ahead. They're always looking around, looking for danger, all that kind of stuff. So we are more, we're animals, so we should be also aware of our surroundings. This is a good way to establish safety, to establish that we are in a safe place, or establish any, anything that we perceive as danger, perceived danger. So each time you look to one side, we're also giving your vagus nerve a little massage here, which is in charge of your nervous system. So it can also be a calming movement just to do this. But each time you move, take a look and see what you notice each time, something a little bit different. Maybe it's a person near you, maybe it's something on the wall or the floor, whatever it is. And then let's begin to make a circle by looking all the way up, noticing what's above us, turning the head very gently and softly, being very kind, okay, and looking down to the ground, and then making our circle this way. So it's not a full neck circle, it's a head circle. You're drawing with your nose, sort of, a circle on the wall. And what you're doing also is establishing your comfort. You're establishing your place in time. You may also want to, as you do this, you may notice where the doors are, the windows are, notice what's around you, notice some color or something that you might not have noticed before. And then when you come up to where you started, wherever it is, go the opposite way. Your nose is kind of making this pattern on the wall this time, as opposed to the top of your head on the ceiling. So orienting, when you come into the room, you don't have to do this, okay? Because everybody would probably think,
I think I will.
you would. Okay, good. I'm glad. I'm so glad to hear that. I think you will too. So it doesn't have to be quite as obvious as this, you guys, okay? And don't do it when you're driving. So orienting is good, knowing where you are, but not circles and movement. They'll get you all dizzy, okay? And then we're going to continue with the circles a little bit and just make some nice gentle opening circles with the shoulders. I want you to go as slow or fast as you want. I want you to be comfortable. This is that, sometimes one shoulder goes further than the other, or in a different way, sort of, and that's totally okay. That's just how your body is today. So please don't stress out and try to make both of them even, or try to push to a point that hurts. This is about our range of motion, where it is today. So our yoga class is not about getting more range of motion so much today as it is finding where ours is today and keeping it. We don't want to go backwards, but we don't need to jump forward either. So reverse the direction of your circles if you haven't already. If you have, totally okay. And go until, if you feel a little bit tired, try to keep going. Try to keep getting that pushing just a little bit, not for pain, but more for endurance. Telling your body, yeah, we're going to move a little bit today, and it's okay. We have plenty of rest and relaxation afterwards. So it's a good place to notice, what is your sensation? Do you feel Do you feel something? Do you feel anything? How does it feel? Good, and then we'll let the shoulders drop completely and maybe give them a little shake out. We're gonna change out of circles for just a moment and we'll tip our head a little bit. We're going to work both directions of back, which is forward in a rounded back. Ah, feels so good.
Does.
Thank you. And then the opposite, which is kind of squeezing shoulder blades together, lifting the heart. This doesn't have to be a big crazy back bend, okay? This is just a gentle arch in your back, very gentle, more of a heart lift than it is a back bend. Okay, so think about lifting your heart to the sky. When we do this, also notice maybe your shoulders open up a little bit too, and that's really good for opening your heart. So on our exhale, we're going to come forward and round as far as we like. So maybe it's way down, maybe it's maybe it's way down here. Maybe you want to support yourself because this to me feels so good. I've been standing a lot, I guess, and sitting a lot. So
Can
just
we put our hands to the floor?
what's that?
Can we bring our hands to the floor?
You sure can if you want to, yes. The only caveat I have with this is if you have anything like high blood pressure or pressure behind your eyes, then as a condition, then I recommend that you don't go any further than this. When we go this way, it puts a little pressure in our head. Totally okay if you're fine, it won't hurt you. But if that's a condition that maybe you know about, then you want to probably stay about level. And this feels really good too with a nice long flat back. So we'll take this with our breath. On the inhale, we're going to curl ourselves up, open the heart. And on our exhale, we're going to fold forward. And you can take any breaths you want in between. You don't have to just do one inhale, one exhale. You can do as many as you want. When I come forward, I pull my belly in a little bit to help round that back a little bit more. And then just follow gently up and down. Good. You do one more, two more, whatever feels good to you. If you feel done and you want to just sit and relax, that's totally okay. You want to do more, that's totally okay as well. You could round forward a little bit more and then on your inhale, come up to a halfway lift. So our shoulders come back, our back arches a little bit where it's flat, and then the exhale is a total rounding down. You can do that a couple of times. Inhale to your halfway lift. Nice and long in your spine, and exhale to your forward fold. Good. Come back to center, nice and easy, nice and tall. And we'll begin with a little twisting. So twisting is really good for our inner organs. It's really good for kind of like moving stagnant energy, kind of is how I feel. So we'll come forward a little bit on our chair if that's comfortable for you. And we'll bring our one hand, I'm not going to tell you left or right, bring one hand to your opposite thigh. Bring your other hand behind you, maybe to the chair to start, just to the chair to start, and push into that hand that's on the thigh pretty hard and fight back with the knee. So you're not going to push it in, you're going to kind of resist a little bit. Resist is a better word than fight. And then turn gently to that side, the same side as your hand is on. So as you inhale, lift the top of the head, the crown of the head, all the way to the ceiling as though there's a string connecting you. And on your exhale, pull the belly muscles in and feel the side body work a little as you twist just a tiny bit more, just like you want to see, oh, just an inch more behind you. Not to hurt, not to strain. Check right here. Are you pulling your jaw too far? Are you pulling your head too far? Are you hurting something? Are you holding your breath? If any of those things are true, back off about 10% and you'll find a beautiful sweet spot there that's meant for you today. And then as we inhale the next time, take your time wherever you are, inhaling, and we're going to go over to the other side. So crossing over, hand can hold on to chair. Remember the inhale is a lengthen of the spine, so we're not crunching over this time, and gently turning over the opposite shoulder. Push and resist with that leg a little bit. Inhale to when you take another breath, lift up a tiny bit more, and on the exhale, pull the belly in and twist just an inch further. Make sure you're twisting with your whole body, not just your neck.
The neck is nice to take us places, you know, the gaze takes us places, but it's not important that you twist in the neck for this. So you want to try and keep it relaxed. So now notice, give yourself a little scan here as you breathe and twist. What are you feeling? What are your sensations? And if they are really uncomfortable, back off 5%. And then find your spot right there. And one more breath, inhale and exhale there. Beautiful. And then come on back to center, nice and easy.
And we'll hold on to the chair one more time, wherever you like it. I like it down here on the leg. It keeps me safe. And we'll bring one arm up, make sure that you're not hitting your neighbor. And then bending that, holding on arm and gently just reaching over. So you're sturdy and secure in your chair. We're not going anywhere. We're holding on to that seat or that flag. And then just open your heart a tiny bit. Maybe look up, see how that feels on your neck. Nice. And inhale, lift up tall with your next inhale. Doesn't matter if it's with me or not. And then hold on and gently come over. Start easy. Start nice and easy before you start to get into pushing or, pushing your limit or anything. Just find that easy, gentle stretch. Bring your attention to your side body here. This is where you want to feel your stretch. And then if you want to look up and open that arm a tiny bit, it'll increase the stretch only as much as it feels good to you. And then back up to center again. Let's do that one more time. Inhale up, exhale over. This time just go as far as you want to. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, over. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, over. So what we're doing is moving the spine in a different direction. We did a twist for the spine. We did a forward and backward roll for the spine. And now we're doing a side to side. So we've moved the spine in all 6 directions that it will go. Bring our hands back onto our knees or wherever it feels good to you, doesn't matter. And just assess for a moment and come back into those little circles. Maybe they're smaller this time, like just little, I don't know, little tiny circles. And then back the other way. We're going to try something a little bit harder. We're going to sit up now and try to just move the middle part of our body. So it's not this, it's not from the hips, it's from the middle. It's kind of like a roll. Okay, so it takes a little concentration. It's okay if you look goofy, nobody's watching. Only recorded for all time. No, I'm kidding. I think we always, exactly. And it's as hard as belly dancing too.
Yes.
Well, not quite as, but belly dancing is very, very challenging. And and hula dancing too. It's so good for your hips and your belly.
I've never been able to hula.
Me neither. Me neither. It's so graceful and beautiful, but well, that kind of explains it. You know where my challenge is there. So go the other way if you haven't already. A little of this can go a long way. And then we'll go side to side with the same kind of motion. So when we bring our arms out, we're going to try with our arms out. So get your arms a little higher. Good for you. So let's come over to the side, not like we're bending over to reach them, more like we're sliding. You're going to feel your opposite hip want to lift up just a tiny bit. Okay, synchronize maybe so that we don't run into each other. Everyone start in the beginning and let's all reach to the right. See what happens. There you go. Nice. Okay, good. Then come on up to center with your inhale and exhale over to the other side. So keeping your shoulders level with the floor. Good. Inhale again. Exhale over. Inhale, lift. Exhale over. Good. We're going to add on a little bit. We're going to open the legs nice and wide. Both knees will stay bent. One more time over to the left side. Come on back to center. Inhale to the right. Drop the right arm down. Lift the top arm to the sky. So your hands are like clock hands at 6 and 12. Okay. Swing them back on over. Slide back to the other side. And now on the exhale, once again, hands up and down. Good. Bring them back to center. Slide it on back. This time we'll come over and we're going to rest our arm down onto that thigh, and top arm is going to come up to the sky. And we're going to push it back just a tiny bit. Open the heart. You feel this in the shoulder, feel this in the chest.
not enough to make you wince, okay, just a little bit, okay, if you're wincing, pull it back a little bit. And then we'll bend that arm, bring the hand to the shoulder, and we're back to circles with some nice gentle circles for the shoulder here. So drawing with your elbow kind of on the ceiling. Wide as you can go, noticing little pops and creaks, that's okay. Other way. Now, if you start to feel tension in your neck, it's because you're holding it too much. Try to look down to the opposite side and let this side of your body just relax and soften. This is opening up the opposite side of the body, and this side can kind of rest. It'll have its turn in a moment. Good, and come on up to center, nice and tall. Maybe notice for just a moment difference between left and right side. Slide it over to the left now. Rest the left hand down onto the thigh, and bring the top arm up nice and tall. And back it up just a little bit behind you. Maybe follow it with your gaze. If this tightens up in your body, please come back. You're just going a little too far, that's all. Bring the hand onto the shoulder and make a gentle circle with your elbow. And here again, if you're holding a lot of tension in your neck, head, other side of the body, you can look down, let your neck just kind of hang, let your head hang out there. You go the other side. Relaxing the neck is really hard because it always wants to be involved. The neck muscles and the shoulders and the thighs, they're just really active and they want to always be going, and it's harder to relax them. Good. Did I tell you to switch sides? To switch direction? Good for me. Okay, come on up, nice and easy. Sometimes I forget. Okay, back onto our circles. We are going to work with our wrists in a nice little circular motion. Really good for just letting out some of that tension if you've been sitting at computer or phone or whatever, and then go the opposite way. Good, and if you're able, you can lift both feet up, separate them slightly and make some circles. They can go the same or opposite. It's interesting to see how everybody chooses to go. And be careful of one ankle and the other. They have, they both want different things maybe, and then go the other way. And we'll separate them enough so that we can turn our toes in and out, kind of windshield wipers. You're going to feel this in your hips a little bit if you're doing it fully. If you'd rather just take it easy, you can put them down here and do it. You're still doing exactly the same thing. Okay, just not tightening those quads as much, but it's totally okay. Doesn't matter. We just want to get range of motion in our heels and our ankles rather, and our knees and our hips especially. Now let them come down for a little rest. We'll lift one leg up and we're going to make some circles with that leg. These can be big or small, doesn't matter. You can be slow or fast, no rules. The goal is to get this hip moving freely in the joint. That's all it is. And to make that synovial fluid come out so that you haven't got, you've got a little cushion there, nice little liquid that makes it move nice and smooth. And then go the other way. If your leg's getting tired, so is mine. It is, but I haven't done any yoga this week. I've been just kind of monking it up here, so I'm kind of tired. Okay, then bring the other one down and notice for just a moment, hey, one of you worked really hard. Thank you very much. And then other one lifting up, start with your circle on the other one, start fresh. The one ankle that was laughing, the one hip that was laughing at the other one for working so hard, now we make it hurt. We'll go the other way. Let it get a little tired.
That's challenging. I don't feel it in my glute, but I feel it on my top of my thigh.
Yeah,
Right.
top of my thigh and just in the hip joint, not so much the glute, but in the. Yeah, it's just, we're just making it work a little.
In here, is that good? Or is
Yeah,
that
that's very
wrong?
good. No, it's
Oh.
very good. Okay, so yeah, you're moving a little more in your knee, which is great. It doesn't matter. This is all like however you feel. But if you want to, you can,
Oh,
there
like
you
that.
go, a little bit more.
Oh.
But it's hard with jeans, right? So, okay, that's enough of that. Bring it on down. Let it kind of rock out. Sometimes they get talking and then people are like, there was a great show, yoga with Jillian, I think it was called. It was a one-woman show. It was at the Millabo Art Theater here in town, and it was a yoga teacher. It was all just her. And she would get the students in a position and she'd start telling a life story and totally forget about them. Maybe in like one-legged down dog, and then it's like, so the thing is, and she'd start into this long ramble, and the students were just looking at each other like, oh no. Really clever, very clever. Yeah, it was on one of those really snowy weekends, and so very few people got to come, unfortunately. Okay, so let's go back to our breaths. Remember this? So once we're feeling nice and comfortable here, we did a little scan of our body here, a little bit of a touched a lot of different areas. And work on a nice stretch for our back, our shoulders. We'll bring our arms in front, cross right over left at the elbow, reach around and squeeze and pull the elbows down. This is a compression pose. This is a rounding of the back. Keep breathing. See if you can just picture that back opening up, letting go of any tension that's holding on. And then let it go, bring the other arm in front, cross over, squeeze behind you as tight as you can, and pull the elbows down towards the belly. It turns out that a hug, whether it's from another person or from yourself, anyway, it's such a pretty, this is such a cute song, man. Okay, so the hug is beneficial to you, whether it's from yourself or from another person. It brings out the same endorphins, I think they are, in your body as if you got a hug from someone you love. Of course, it's not quite as good, right? But
It might be better.
well, yeah, I mean, if it's the best you can do at the moment, then it's really good, right? Just not quite the same, but the other thing is a head hug that we're going to do today. And a head hug is for headaches, particularly, or just for calming. So what we do is we bring one hand in front on the forehead, one hand on back, and we're going to push both sides in very gentle. You're not pushing hard, but as though you're kind of pushing both sides in towards the center of the head. The thing that happens here is while we're working on this, sometimes our shoulders get all tight and stuff like that. It's supposed to be relaxing. So find yourself like softening just a little bit. You don't have to make this really hard to make it work. Bring it around the other way, or other hand in front. You don't have to do this. I just do it because it makes me feel more even.
I feel like it's keeping all my marbles.
Wouldn't that be nice? Help, nothing coming out my ears.
See, for me, it's kind of like closing the barn door after the horse is like.
Well, you want to keep any marbles that might be remaining on that barn floor, right? Let's try. And then let that go. So another one that I was just reminded of, and it turns out that I was being taught this, but I learned it in physical therapy when I hurt my neck years ago. And I had the best ever physical therapist. Let's see what the next song is. I don't remember. So this is another one for our neck. So our neck is, I don't know if you have neck pain, creaking, cracking, aches, all that stuff, but it's really good to stay on top of it before it gets really bad. Oh yeah, this is pretty. Yeah, yeah. We'll bring our fingers to our forehead and we're pushing in very little
And we're resisting very little, so it's a push with the hand and a gentle motion forward with the head, as though you're trying to move your hands away. You're not doing this, you're not going way out, it's very tiny. What this is for is for the tiny muscles of the neck, which is what we need to strengthen. The big muscles are fine, they're taking care of everything, but it's the tiny ones that hurt when they're not working hard enough. So if you do this a few times a day, if you have neck things like whiplash injury or something like that, it helped me a lot. And then bring it back to center and just notice the balance, and then we're gonna gently do it to one side, doesn't matter which one. You're not cranking it, it's very subtle, okay, like 20% of your energy maybe, your hands and your head. I have it right above my temple because I don't want to press right in there. It's more the bone, you're doing the bone because you're trying to move the skull. And over the other side. What a good message. Everything is temporary for our mandala, because on Saturday, all that sand gets brushed away. In that lesson of impermanence.
And non-attachment.
And non-attachment, totally, yeah, don't cry. And then last one we'll do with the back of the head, you can do it anywhere you want, just this you're tucking your chin just a little bit and pushing back very little. If your arms are getting super tired, it's because you're pushing a little too hard, let it up a little bit. Good, and then let it go completely, let your arms come down nice and easy. I'll begin to deepen our breath again, as we did in the beginning, paying attention to the length of the inhale and exhale. Notice how the breath feels coming in and leaving the body. We'll do a little exercise with lengthening the exhale. So when our nervous system is geared up and we need to calm it down, we can we can increase the exhale length. And it sounds very simple. I mean, it is simple, but it works. When your nervous system gets the message that your exhale is longer, it knows it can relax and be safe, because if it were not safe and you were in that fight or flight, there's no way you could control that. It would just be automatically breathing heavily and shallow to get you through whatever the issue was. When you have control of your breath, then you know that your nervous system is safe. You're not doing anything dangerous. So on your inhale, just notice, maybe it's 3 counts, everybody counts differently. So just breathe in to the top, a little bit of a stop at the top, a little pause, and then a longer exhale. So to make it longer, you may need to pull your belly in a little bit, push those lungs, push the air out of the lungs a little bit with the diaphragm. And then pause for a moment at the bottom and continue. So whether it's a 1, 2, 3 inhale, and a 1, 2, 3, 4 exhale, or whatever your count is. Perfect. Let's try 5 more breaths like this on your own. Sometimes we get impatient with timing the make you yawn. I always tell that to people in case they're like hiding yawns. It's a good reaction. Now that I say it, it's all gonna. Sorry. Just take the next few moments to yawn and get that out of your system.
Good, and then bring your eyes, blink them open, nice and easy, look around at your new friends.
And wow. Um. Oh.
Did you get there?
Oh, you just.
Not bad, right?
Really great.
Not the Eastern scale, but comfortable for us anyway, right?
Okay, so let's see if I can get it to sing for us. It's a great way to get kids to be quiet. It's a good investment. If you have kids that need to listen. So, um,
Just make yourselves comfortable for a moment, let your body relax, soften down. And if you slouch a little or something like that, it's totally okay. Your body's not always meant to be in one straight tall position. We're not meditating at the moment, we're just kind of relaxing. So I want to encourage you guys after this to take a little visit into the sanctuary where the World Peace Mandala is coming closer to its finish. It'll be finished tomorrow afternoon. Could have been finished way sooner, but when we give them 5 days, they space it out so that no one's disappointed who comes in to find it's already finished. Because the watching of the sand is pretty cool, and the noise it makes and all that. So, this group of monks is touring America for 2 years. They're about 10 months in. And, they'll be doing some more traveling around and then returning back to India, which is where their monastery is now. And so, if you don't know the story, Tibet was taken over by China, communist China, and they did not care for the Tibetan and Buddhist religion, because it is a religion, practice and a religion, and so they tricked the Dalai Lama, who was only in his teens at the time, to signing some papers that said they were going to leave them alone, and then they didn't. So they were forcibly exiled from Tibet. There's a lot of blood and, gore there. But he went through that and then came to India and established his monastery. And somehow, after all that trauma and his life and all that, he established another monastery, and more monasteries came from Tibet, and so there's a thriving community there in India. And so what they're doing here is sharing the culture. What could happen is if they get interspersed into India, then their culture could really dramatically change. And nothing wrong with Indian culture, but we want to keep both. We don't want to necessarily combine them. So what this group does, and other groups just like them, is travel the world, and especially in America, because we are a very wealthy nation, and by sharing their culture and their arts and their beliefs and their education, their system, all that, and their ancient practices, that they keep it alive, and we help keep that alive. So your being here is helping to keep that alive and helping to keep the continuation of education of monks in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition. So I want to thank you personally for doing that, for your part in that. And remember that we're all part of this success, no matter what we bring to the table. So if it's not money, it's kindness and sharing their mission and living our lives as best we can, as positively for the rest of the world. That's all I have to say today, but thank you so much. If you would like to donate, I'd like you to donate to me so I can just see what, so that's just me, and that's okay, that's just my ego, so it really doesn't basically, but if you want to just, check out their merchandise and things like that and get that way, or just got money in their, container, it truly is like every tiny bit is good, every tiny bit is really helpful, so it adds up, and, they're very happy for what we can do. Also for the community here, if you were at the dinner last night, you saw people bring their dishes and stuff. They're so proud of being able to share their meal with the community and with each other and with the monks. It's like a special gift. So thank you for that. Afternoon is sand painting. Tomorrow is more of the mandala. They'll finish up. They'll be 7 o'clock. We're trying to arrange a Dharma talk at Root Yoga Center. That's like based on the Buddhist principles. The Geshe, the lead director, the tour director here of the 8 months or 7 months, is a very scholarly man. He's had like 3 titles, so it would be like your you're before grad school and then your PhD and then more, so he's like way up there. And the problem is we don't understand him. So but when he talks, it's very basic for us because that's what we would understand. But when he talks through a translator, which we are on the verge of getting, I know, we had a really close connection, and then that blew up. So
The Boulder one?
we have the Boulder one, but he's not comfortable with
Oh,
the Dharma talk.
okay,
Very different dialects,
I see.
and he's very schooled in Buddhism and Tibetan Buddhism, but the language, the accent and dialect and stuff is
Okay.
really hard for me. It's really
Are
struggling.
you with Root?
No,
Yoga?
well, so I do some things there, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right.
So anyway, fingers crossed, we're gonna have a really good translator. If not, we're gonna make a different event. Whatever happens, happens. But it gives us a chance to really understand the depth of what they're talking about. It's all very superficial when we talk to compassion and love and all that. It's very beautiful. It's very fun, no matter what, to be in that energy. But sometimes when you get in depth of the Tibetan Buddhist, the story, the story, and then the teachings beyond that, it's really great, really fun, really impressive, and it makes you want to learn more. So that'll be Friday. On Saturday, please try to make time to come because it's really, really fun. They'll do the dissolution ceremony in the morning, which is where they'll have an opening prayer and welcome and all that, and then they begin to sweep the sand all together in a beautiful pattern. But I have to say, as an American, it's heartbreaking. But this is all impermanent. And then what they do is they take the sand, you can get some to bring home for yourself or your garden or whatever. And what they teach is that for all week they prayed and chanted and blessed this process. So every grain of sand has been blessed for 5 days at a minimum. And then it's all together, and then it's all stuck together, but that doesn't mean that the blessing is not still there. The physical object is no longer there, but the blessing is still there.
Yeah.
And so it's given to all the people and then it's put in an urn and it's brought to by the monks in like full regalia to a running body of water. I get chills every time I tell the story. So a running body of water, because if it's flowing, then it means it's going all over the planet. So this blessing is in
Do you
the
know where
form
they're
of
going to
sand.
put it?
It's a tie between Manitou Creek,
Uh-huh.
which is very pretty, but it's harder to get to and harder to park mainly. Or the bridge over Uinta at or around, not Uinta, the bridge at Monument Valley Park.
Right,
We've done that before.
okay.
And there's parking right there at
The
where the,
pickleball car park.
yeah, where you used to park to swim. or-
Right.
Yeah. So there is parking there and that, and we'll all carpool, so we don't waste too much
Yeah.
space, so. And then, I know, I'm tired of thinking about it. And then at 2:00. They have a cultural pageant, which is really good if you know some kiddos, especially families and kids. It's super fun because they, of the snow lion, which is a revered, not a deity, but a character kind of the Tibetans, and they have they'll do their chanting and their instruments and all that. And a couple little pageants, like there's a dance, that's like way back in Tibet. And a yak dance, because the yak is
Yak
really
dance.
symbolic to them, and so really cool stuff, very fun and very playful. and fun.
And where's that gonna be, do you know?
Right here,
Okay,
yeah, in Sanctuary, because the mandala will be gone then,
okay.
so we can set up and line up around.
Maybe I'll bring my little
Super fun.
daughters.
Kids love it. They love it. They're very, I mean, the monks really do love it.
And then it'll be round 2, do you think?
Yeah, it should start
Okay.
around 2. It's all iffy because we have to do the dissolution and then the procession to the water and then set up for cultural. So it's really iffy. It's all on monk time.
Oh, time.
But there's always something to do in between, so.
That's adorable.
Yeah. They'll be here on my, and that's just a joke because they're incredibly precise. I mean, they're be here at 10, they're here at 10. So that's all. I'm sorry I'm talking so much. I hope that wasn't too much.
Okay, it's gonna not rain.
Oh, that would be really good if it
Yeah.
didn't.
It's gonna
Yeah,
be very
that'd be
warm, but
great.
no rain.
Okay, well, we'll take it. So thanks, everybody. Really appreciate you coming and sharing, and if you want to do more yoga, let me know.
I've got
Try and
questions.
get it back up and going. Okay. They're talking about doing it here, actually. They used to have chair yoga. If there's interest, we can bring it back.
The chair yoga, I would love that. I live right next door, but
I know you do. I know, you brought our rocks in. We ran out of many stones yesterday. We had, the day before, whenever it was, it's all a jumble, but we painted stones with the monks with the mantra on it. And I had 20 rocks. And I thought that would be perfect. And all of a sudden we have more than 20 people and we're out of rocks. And here's a synchronicity for you. So River said, oh, it's okay. I'll just run home and get some. She went next door. She's had a pile of flagstone pieces in her yard. For how long? 3 years or so?
Almost 4 years.
Yes, 4 years. They were sitting there waiting for a
Little
purpose.
file.
And she came back with her little red wagon and more rocks, and it was like, wow, who could have in the bed? So.
You know what I would love is a list of where they've been so far this tour.
Oh,
But I went online and I couldn't find
find
it.
it?
I mean, I just find that so fascinating to kind of,
I know they came from Washington this last time, Washington
Okay.
State,
all right,
and prior to that, they were in California,
yeah,
northern and southern, and prior to that, they were in Florida,
wow,
outside of Tampa.
that's a big stretch
It was
across
a
the
big
country.
stretch, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
just want to say thank you for inviting me. to
Oh, I
come
want to say thank you to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, it's
Sure.
great.
now what is your toy box about?
Well, my toy box is pretty much kids yoga, but I had my
I had my bowls in it. Drop away. Thank you. So I do yoga with kids
Oh,
and
okay.
grown-ups, but
So you're a yoga teacher
This is
here,
my
sometimes at Root and sometimes not, and
we
sometimes.
do events at
elsewhere.
Root. I have a nonprofit called Peaceful Warriors, and we do,
Oh, I love your nonprofit.
yeah, I do too. I'm not the only Peaceful Warriors, but we still like the name enough to keep it. So we have,
Where are we gonna put that doing?
I think I have a jar. We have a jar right over there.
Do you have a website that has your little events or big
I
events?
do, yeah.
Or celestial
Actually,
events?
Facebook is the
Cosmic
best. Facebook
Okay.
is the best place.
Okay. Let me get your name.
Yeah, let me get you, because we have a, I could text you. That'd be good.
I love that idea.
Okay, River, tell me what your, hang on a second, I'm gonna be a minute here. Oh, I forgot to play our favorite song. Better do that.
Happiness runs in a circular motion. Life is like a little voice upon the sea. Everybody is a part of everything anyway. You can have it all, just let yourself be. Why? Because why you
That is such a sweet little song. Okay, I can't find our favorite song. I had our Joni Mitchell and I lost
Oh,
it and didn't add it to the list.
Which one was that?
Circle Band.
Oh,
And who sang that one? Well, Joni Mitchell and Judy Collins both sang.
but Joni Mitchell wrote it.
Joni Mitchell, wrote it, yeah.
And Judy Collins claimed it when I went and saw her.
No.
She said, Judy Collins. She said, this song has really been something about her.
Yes, I'll tell you in a minute.
We were mentioning Joni Mitchell and I thought, oh, I don't know about that.
it's like Nelson, I thought Nelson Mandela did the by Marianne Williamson for a
Oh,
very long time.
Who are we to?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
my favorite quote.
That's interesting.
Okay, River, tell me,
Okay, all right, so good. Love you.
are you guys going into sea or are you leaving?
I wanted to ask you a question about. Oh, we are going into.
Okay, good, I'll see you in a minute.
What time tomorrow, Saturday, is everything starting?
Okay, so Saturday morning. Well, tomorrow all day for 10 to 4,
Mhm.
they'll be doing what they're doing today, so anytime you can see it almost finished or finished. And then the Dharma talk is tomorrow at 7, and that's it at Root Yoga Studio over on 17th and Uinta.
Mhm.
And then Saturday morning is 10 to 11 is, you can see the finished mandala. And 11 o'clock is the ceremony, like the dissolution. So there'll be chanting and costumes and thank yous and all that stuff.
Probably no coffee.
Then
I always, I mean, we won't. have
oh, well,
coffee.
I won't, I probably won't be.
Yeah, no, I think I'd like.
I
to go
would
to
like
that.
to be there, but yeah, but I'll be here.
I have a question, yeah, I didn't wanna, John,
This is exactly.
you know, in front of the group, but if you don't know the answer to this, but I got a really great book on Dharma.
You told me, the Book of Dharma, right?
Yeah.
I put it on my list. I want to get it.
Really
Yeah,
good.
I can get it.
And yet I get the impression that it was more like a Hindu Dharma. And I looked it up and there is, they say that Hindu and Buddhist were kind of started out together. And so I was kind of.
It's a placement, I think it, like, the Buddha was from India
Mhm.
and his teachings came to Tibet.
Oh,
Later.
Buddha was from India, yes,
That's the-
okay, that's it,
Yeah,
okay, so.
so it did start there, but then when, it's just like, it's like a language, once you
Mhm.
bring it to another country.
Mhm.
And there's no phones and connections and, travel.
Yeah,
It brings on a life of its own because the people there have to keep it going.
and another thing is I have this little book
Like
by
to see more paintings
Yoga
around.
Nanda.
Uh-huh.
And so that would be,
Don't I have that one there?
oh, I gave it to you.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, sweetheart. River, can you type your,
I will do
I have the 719. Thank you, Margot. You're welcome.
But I have
Oh,
that
yes.
impression he is Hindu. But I'm not sure.
Well, he is from India,
He's from
so
India.
he's probably,
Yeah,
you're probably
uh-huh,
right,
yeah.
yeah.
So I was trying to get a
So,
little,
like,
and I feel
Buddhism-
like they're a lot alike.
They're very much alike,
So much
because
alike.
they're based in the traditions, the deepest traditions of Buddhism. It's just
Mhm.
that they develop differently in different places, but
Mhm.
like the Dharma talk will be from either like the Four Noble Truths or impermanence or something that the Buddha taught
Okay,
directly.
uh-huh,
So it won't
right.
be, I mean, it'll just be in a different language than, you know. than-
Yeah,
but
yeah, and I'm
but
gonna go and read that book again. It's a great book.
Yeah.
And just see if I can, and not that it matters.
No, but it's really interesting.
Uh-huh.
The history is same with yoga. It's like there's, 10 different schools of yoga and then they continue and now, America's on the map with it and it's morphed into so much.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
So
all
much.
different kinds of yoga. Yeah. uh-huh. Okay. That's all
Similar to
interesting
that.
though, isn't it?
It's very
Yeah, yeah,
interesting what
uh-huh,
you're
yeah,
thinking about.
that's very good.
And then I have a book, The Art of Happiness by the Dalai Lama.
If I forget that, I'll ask you.
Yeah, I
about
had
it.
it off my bookshelf recently, which was so odd because I hadn't looked at it in a long time. And now it's sitting like right face up. It's like, oh,
All this time.
I need to get on that.
Uh-huh. That little book like I gave you,
yes.
I bought that,
What was the name of it again?
um.